Will the 4680 battery really change the industry for cell development? Find out in today's video as we look through all the latest news for Tesla and the 4680 battery. Let's get into the video. Tesla partner Panasonic tackles 4680 battery cell mass production. After presenting the new, potentially revolutionary batteries to the public last month, Panasonic is preparing to mass produce its 4680 cells next. The 4680 cells are pivotal to Tesla's plans to become a legitimate mass manufacturer of quality electric vehicles. In terms of product development, the technological goals have largely been achieved. The new batteries have roughly 5 times the capacity of the 2170s currently in use. But mass producing them requires new techniques, Kazuo Tadanobu, the CEO of Panasonic's new energy company, recently told Nikkei Asia. Tesla has been refining 4680 production at its pilot production on Kato Road near the Fremont factory. The company seems to have made significant strides recently based on a few updates related to the 4680 cells. For instance, in September, Tesla initiated a hiring ramp for its 4680 pilot line, hinting at higher production capacity. Equipment for battery production arrived at Giga Texas recently as well. Tesla already seems to be installing some of the machines for Giga Texas battery production facility. The company aims to produce 100 gigawatt-hours worth of cells at Giga Texas by the end of 2022. According to Panasonic, Tesla's 4680 cells have already demonstrated that they can yield 5 times the capacity of smaller models. The Japanese battery maker plans to start test production on the 4680 cells by March 2022 in Japan. We are currently building a prototype production line in Japan that will come online in stages. We will conduct trials toward mass production and hone the process in Japan until it can be deployed quickly, Tadanobu elaborated. Tadanobu noted that Panasonic has been discussing 4680 battery production with Tesla since before the pandemic. We are working on the new battery at Tesla's request, and we assume we will be doing business with the company, added Tadanobu. The CEO also noted that the company isn't ruling out battery partnerships with other electric vehicle manufacturers. However, he emphasized that Tesla was its main priority. LUCID CEO shares thoughts on EV batteries, range, and Tesla's 4680 battery cells. LUCID CEO Peter Rawlinson recently shared his thoughts about the electric vehicle industry, the battle for range supremacy, and rival Tesla's efforts to develop and produce its own 4680 cells. According to the CEO, the range of electric vehicles may see some surprising trends in the distant future, and Tesla's 4680 cells may not be as big of a breakthrough as initially expected. Rawlinson's recent comments were shared in an extensive interview with IEEE Spectrum. As a company, LUCID is known to work extremely hard to maximize the range in its vehicles, with the Air sedan, its first car, becoming the first electric vehicle that received an EPA rating above 500 miles per charge. Using the same 2170 cells that are powering vehicles like the Tesla Model 3 and the Rivian R1T, LUCID's 6 Air sedan variants have seized the top 6 spots in the EPA's range rankings. The LUCID CEO is not a proponent of simply using more batteries to extend range, similar to what companies like GM are doing with the 350-mile Hummer EV's 200 kilowatt-hours battery, or what Rivian seems to be doing with the 400-mile R1T's 180 kilowatt-hours pack. As per IEEE, Rawlinson calls such strategies as dumb range. This was definitely something that LUCID avoided with the Air sedan, as the vehicle is able to achieve its class-leading 131 mph with a 118 kilowatt-hours battery pack. Interestingly enough, Rawlinson believes that while there is a battle for range in the electric vehicle sector today, this would likely not be the case in the future. With electric vehicles becoming more commonplace and affordable, and with home charging becoming the norm, the LUCID CEO believes that future electric vehicles may actually have less range. 50 or 60 years from now, EVs may actually have less range. Psychologically, there won't be this sort of paranoia and dependence on a public supercharging network. And home charging is healthier for the battery, anyway, the LUCID CEO said. Rawlinson did not seem particularly convinced that some near-term battery breakthroughs are at hand. In the case of Tesla's 4680 cells, for example, the LUCID CEO noted that he sees potential in the technology. But the upcoming batteries seem more like a triumph of packaging, not of chemistry, with its tightly packed jelly rolls that allow more active cell material versus its surrounding casting. Ultimately, Rawlinson noted that the idea of 4680 batteries being a huge breakthrough is a fantasy. I do think there's an upside to going to large format. That would reduce internal resistance, and that's a valuable step forward. But people are looking at 4680 as this huge breakthrough, and that's a fantasy, the LUCID CEO said. Time would likely prove or disprove Rawlinson's recent insights on the electric vehicle battery industry. Batteries are only getting better with time, for example, so there may eventually be a point where even extremely affordable electric cars could have range that's comparable to premium EVs today. Tesla's 4680 cells could also prove to be a difference maker in manufacturing, as the cells are specifically designed to lower costs. Ultimately, the 4680 cells may not necessarily be a silver bullet in the electric vehicle transition, but when they're coupled with incremental improvements in battery chemistries, dry electrode technologies, structural battery concepts, and the use of megacastings, they could form the backbone for the next generation of mass-market vehicles that may very well take the world by storm. The next few years of Tesla's growth, which would be represented by the rise of vehicles like the Cybertruck and the Semi, would likely determine just how much potential the 4680 cells really have. Tesla won't use government subsidies to build its 4680 battery plant in Giga Berlin. In a recent announcement, Tesla has informed the Federal Ministry of Economics and the Brandenburg Ministry of Economics in Germany that it would be building its 4,680 battery plant and recycling facility in the Gigafactory Berlin complex without government subsidies. With this, the company has effectively withdrawn its application for state funding, which was estimated to be at about $1.28 billion. The plan to give government subsidies for projects like Tesla's battery factory in Grunheide was approved in January by the European Union. Tesla was not the lone recipient of the funding, as other companies which noted that they would also be producing electric vehicle batteries, such as BMW, were also approved for state aid. Estimates pointed to a final decision being made by the end of the year. Tesla has so far not specified the reasons why it opted to withdraw its 4680 battery facilities application for state funding, though CEO Elon Musk has noted on Twitter that it was in line with the company's views. It has always been Tesla's view that all subsidies should be eliminated, but that must include the massive subsidies for oil and gas. For some reason, governments don't want to do that, Musk remarked. A Tesla spokesperson also issued a comment about the company's updated plans for the funding of its 4680 battery plant in Gigafactory Berlin. Tesla has informed the Federal Ministry of Economics and the Brandenburg Ministry of Economics. It is withdrawing its IPK application for state funding for the battery factory in Grunheide. However, Tesla is sticking to its plans for the battery and recycling factory in the Gigafactory Berlin-Brandenburg, the Tesla spokesperson said. Recent footage and observations from the electric vehicle community in Grunheide suggest that Gigafactory Berlin is all but ready to start the initial production of the made-in-Germany Model Y. So far, however, the facility is still mired in red tape as the company waits for the facility's final approval. However, things are still progressing as the latest round of online consultations for the public to express their opposition to the facility was recently concluded. Do you think that the 4680 battery will be able to propel Tesla into the future of battery development? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.